Well, he's really strong, and he has been here for quite a while, that's true. And we are actually talking about this guy here on the bottom left corner, playing in this best of 5, and he's playing red colors Protoss pieces, and his name is Ursagor, also known as TalDarim, and he is from Funhouse. While in the opposite corner, on the right upper corner, here on ley lines, we have yellow Zerg player Bali, also known as Balimko. I think he was from the CSO, but I don't know what happened to that. Maybe he just became free agent, or maybe he's just out. Whatever, don't care. Right now, there is a freedom for somebody who cares to actually try to ask him this question, or maybe I will. Who knows? Who knows? Nevertheless, these guys did meet in the semi-finals. It didn't go well for Balimko, and out of the grand finals where they meet again, the first game unfortunately also didn't go really that good for Balimko at the start. Yep, Ursagor is really strong. He knows what he's doing. He knows the power of Protoss, and somehow nobody makes enough threat to him to actually like make big enough impact to do that. But you know, there always will be some first time and someone who does it for the first one. So there we go. There is gateway, pylon, gateway, Nexus, cybercore, quite usual. There will be second pylon in the main base right there from Ursagor. Meanwhile, on the opposite side we have natural, gas, a double queen starting, and as soon as we have 100 gas we pull off the drones, probably to the mineral line, and start the speed as soon as possible. And meanwhile we try to saturate the natural. There you go, that's standard openings for these guys at least. Well, Balimko has an overlord here in quite a dangerous position. He might see that there is chrono boost, but he doesn't know what kind of unit is coming out, and there is a stalker, which might mean a bad day for this overlord. Well, stalker is a little bit trapped, but it might actually get this overlord down with this stalker, and overlord needs to hold position, and it successfully does so. So overlord lives for another day. Another gateway is popped right after actually Stargate again, and there is adept being made to hold the wall together with the stalker. Third pylon is dropped. I believe that's third, yeah. And third base is being dropped by Balimko. Balimko is going for some more links, some more drones, and there is the third base. Yeah, the question is what it's gonna be. Once again, Ursagor is going for Void Ray opener, which has already been targeted towards the overlord here to scout, to kill off the scouting overlord number 1, but there is already overlord number 2 arriving from a back doors to see the main base what's happening. Meanwhile, Balimko is preemptively going for spore crawlers in his main and natural base, and he is droning up the third base as soon as possible. So this overlord is tasked to defend. No, this overlord is tasked to scout out the main base to see what's happening, if there are any tech buildings, and what are those. While this overlord unfortunately is experiencing his demise. There are some links being sent here for the possible third bases, but the third base already is going down for Ursagor here, the Nexus, and it's jumping down. There is the Void Ray. It keeps hunting for the possible overlords. Well, unfortunately he will not really find anything, at least at this side. The third base just drops down the spore crawler. There is actually a lair, and there is Roach Warden for Balimko being made right now. Meanwhile, Ursagor goes for Pilot Console and Forge, which means that yep, there is a charge and there is +1 being researched and some gateways being plucked down together with robotics facility. and the Void Ray came for, I believe, a drone kill. So it got a drone kill, if not just a link kill on the way, and it was shooed away by the queens. But this Overlord is still here. It can pretty much try to scout out what's going to happen, and it looks like it's gonna be that just that the Overseer is being morphed in and will be sent into the main base of Ursagor to find out what kind of tech is going up. Well, Ursagor just dropped down the Templar archives, so there are not enough gateways, I believe, to outmatch the possibility of Roach attack, which looks like Balimko is preparing, because he has movement speed and +1, and he might be building like multiple roaches. There comes the Overseer. It was a little bit late to get in, but there is Changeling being made, which technically saw everything what's going on over here. So Balimko, now is the time, my friend, now is the time. He's making another Overseer, just to see if he gets spotted, and yeah, he's building more roaches, which is really cool. He's unsupply blocking himself for a while, and he is massing bigger roach army. There's no Hydra then on the back of it, unfortunately, but if he moves out as soon as possible, he might actually do some damage. The question is, will he hit in the time, and will it be enough? There is 13 more roaches being joined in. The storm is pretty much halfway there, so the longer the Balimko waits, the longer he waits for the push out, the closer he gets to actually get stormed away, which is sad for Zerg, as me for example. But there comes the push, and it actually going to hit right in the moment that the storm research has been finished. Well, Ursagor decides to warp in the Archons instead of leave those high... he has like 3 High Templars over here with the storm. So there comes the attack. Some hold positioning happening here, but there are three High Templars with 3 storms joining in, and 2 of them are dropped. Well, the roaches successfully target down the High Templar. That's really good. Roaches actually have survived this attack. They have killed the Immortal and everything, but for some reason they are being pulled back. There are more roaches joining the fray right now. 2 Immortals being made right now from the robotics facilities, and Balimko is trying to squeeze his roaches in and target down the pylon, or maybe the gateway, doing as much damage as possible. There are some Chargels being warped in, which is really cool. And there's the Immortal 1, and there's the Immortal 2, there's the Immortal 3 and Immortal 4, which is... Immortals are really good at dealing against roaches. Well, meanwhile, on back of it, Balimko has made 4th. He has a macro hatch. He has done Hydra then. He's going for +2, Hydra both upgrades, and Lurker then on back of it, which is really good. But unfortunately, the worker skilled are 0 for him, which means that he actually did not make any damage to the economy of Protoss, which puts him actually behind, because worker amount are quite unequal, and therefore income of Ursagor will just in a second start overwhelming or hitting equal numbers as Balimko. Well, Balimko is going for 5th and 6th, which is really cool. So he is going for more macro based. He's going for +1 armors and morphing in some lurkers. There are 4 overlords being rallied here. Unfortunately, their demise are 2 Void Rays, which I guess one is the old one with 20 kills, and there is one more one joining in the party. There comes the push out. That's unfortunately spotted by observer, and this observer. So there are like 2 observers here by Ursagor, and one of them goes down. Is there another observer that will get rid of lurkers? No, unfortunately not now, but there are 2 more being made warped in. There is warping prism here being made, and that storm was really the zoning storm. There comes, this one hits the spot, this one actually did not. And Ursagor is going for +3. Balimko meanwhile is warping 6 more lurkers here, but unfortunately there is a push happening, so he will lose all these morphing lurkers here, and there might be counter-attack with 6 immortals, 2 archons, and a few high templars with 2 void rays on top that will try to kill this army of Balimkos, which is morphing in 3 lurkers right now. I think there is no hive, no? Question mark. Yep, no, it's no hive tech, so lurkers will not have the range upgrade or the burrow upgrade. Bali tried to poke forward and tries to kite the opponent's army into his lurkers, but lurkers are through and army pretty much is wiped down by those storms. There are more hydras here on back of it, which is really good power, and actually is doing enough damage. There is no more storms. Actually, 1 lurker did survive this whole event, so that might be quite crucial anchor point to clear up the whatever army Ursagor is putting onto. There are no observers. Actually, hydras are clearing up this army. There's Warp Prism just flying over the 3rd base of Balimko and might be going into the main to warp in some zealots or charge lots, as we call them, in behind of the whole action. Yep, Balimko is moving his spore, he's checking out, and he's being really secure against that kind of action, if that could be happening. Meanwhile, he has fully saturated 4 bases, and he might be going for 5th. Well, there is 5th base for Ursagor, which is as per usual walled off by lots of things. And Ursagor is actually going for 2nd gateway. He has built a fleet beacon, or he's building a fleet beacon in this case. He is making another warp prism, because I guess this one was shooed off by double spore crawlers and whatnot. Everything else in the army of Balimko. Balimko goes for +2 armor, goes for infestation pit, so he can go for hive and morph some lurkers. And there is a big ball now joining from the Ursagor side of thing. He's morphing in 4 archons at the time, so he has 5 archons, high templars, there is like 4 immortals, and the army will be joining or joined by 2 tempests, I believe. Yeah, that's +1 armor being researched, blink stalker, stalker blink. There's +1 weapons for the air toss units, 2 more immortals being built, and Balimko actually chooses to come for attack. He's pretty much maxed out, so he has to move forward and try to exchange the units. He has the income to handle it. Unfortunately, all the lurkers are down. No shot. Did they? Yeah, that's it. They were shot down. I don't think. What was the losses of that fight? Unfortunately, I can't tell, but it's clearly that there's only 1 Archon less here for this party, and maybe 1 Immortal less, and then the gateway units, so that's not really fun. There were charge lot attack here on the 4th base of Balimko, and he's remaxing and trying to go for attack, like to protect his 3rd. Unfortunately, he is zoned out by storms and tempests, and therefore he's 5th and 4th. 4th is now under attack by zealots, and the 5th is under attack by the main army of Ursagor, which storms out pretty much the lurkers. And so the 3rd base, the 5th base, and the 4th base, and also I believe the 6th, if there was any, has gone down fully for Balimko. It's like 41 workers down the drain, 41 drones out of of this game, and more charge lots are joining in, and there is big army ball here from Ursagor still roaming around the bases. Workers are being replaced, but there are tempests, and GG's called. Ursagor takes game number 2. We're going to the third one.